There are multiple ticket options, and it can be pretty confusing trying to figure out which ones to buy. Two options include entry at 2, and I'm just going to skip over those. General admission is $77 to $114. You're going to get in at 7 p.m. like everyone else and wait in all the lines like everyone else all night long. Early access is an add-on to general admission. The cost is $10 to $25 in addition to the regular price. You are going to get in earlier at 5:30 p.m. instead of 7. They do limit access to this feature, so it can potentially sell out. Universal Express is $289 to $359. You get in at 7 and you get access to much shorter lines. This access can be used one time at each house. Universal Express Unlimited is $329 to $399 and allows you to skip the line multiple times at the same house. Both express ticket types are limited, so they can sell out. If you want to spend big bucks, the RIP tour tickets are $459 to $539. You get valet parking, a tour, reserved show seats, food. You don't wait for anything, plus Express Unlimited. Save money by going early. It starts in September and gets more expensive as Halloween approaches, or by going on Sunday, Wednesday, or Thursday, which are the least expensive days. Friday and Saturday are the most expensive. They are closed on Monday and Tuesday. We paid a total of $112 for general admission plus early access, and this was on the second Sunday in October. And I'm gonna map out like how long it took us to do everything. This year there were 8 haunted houses plus a terror tram. So 9 main attractions and 2 shows. How many attractions did we make with early access, no express? Let's find out. We got there at 4:45 p.m. and they were already letting early access in. I read online that the longest waits would be for The Last of Us and for Stranger Things and The Exorcist. So we headed over to Stranger Things first. We were in line by 5:15 and on the attraction by about 6. So that was 45 minutes, which is not bad at all. We went to The Last of Us next, and we ended up waiting about an hour. By the time we made it out of The Last of Us, general admission had started, so early access gave us a time advantage on 2 rides, which was helpful. By the time we got out of The Last of Us, it was 7:30, and I hadn't eaten since breakfast. The original plan was that we would leave early enough to have time to go to City Walk and hang out there and eat, but LA traffic happened, and I decided that waiting in line and making the most use of our early access was more important than eating. So we took a quick dinner break, and we were gonna just get something that we could eat on the go and eat it in line, but I realized that we actually did need a break. My feet were hurting, my back was hurting, so we decided to just sit down to be off of our feet. Never have I ever paid $40 for 2 meals and 1 drink at Panda Express, but this was the shortest line. After we finished eating, The Exorcist was up to 240 minutes. That's 4 hours. That would have been our entire night, so we couldn't do that. So we went over to Evil Dead Rising because the wait for that one was about 45 minutes. By this time, the wait time for Stranger Things and The Last of Us had jumped up to 180 minutes. We finished Evil Dead Rising at about 9, and The Exorcist was still out of control, so we went over to the terror tram first. Whatever they said the wait time was, it was a lot quicker. It only took us about 20 to 25 minutes in line. The line for this is probably always the quickest out of all of them, and the whole time you're just walking, so you're not really standing in one place too long, so it wasn't that bad. We finished the terror tram at around 10, and by this time, the line for The Exorcist had dropped to 70 minutes, which was much better, so we headed there next. We had to wait in line for this too, of course. Oh, look at that! 70 minutes. After The Exorcist, we hopped on one of the regular attraction rides because it was right there and it was only 20 minutes. It was the Flight of Hippogriff. Then we went to Universal Monsters Unmasked because that was the shortest line at this point. Only 35 minutes. By the time we got out of Universal Monsters, it was just after 1 a.m. and the line for Chucky was 60 minutes. We still had time, they were still letting people get in line, but we did not have the energy. We just could not do it. We were tired. It had been a long night of waiting in line, so We were just done at that point. So we headed towards the exit and then just popped into Blumhouse behind the screams because it was right there on the way out to the exit. The park stays open till 1 or 2 a.m. depending on the night. We were really there pretty much as long as we could be. Wait times do go down as the night goes on, but those lines are brutal. If I had it to do over again, I definitely would have got the express. It would have been double the amount that we paid, but to me, it would have been worth it because of how much time we would have saved. And it would have just been the regular express because I don't think I needed to go into each house more than once. These are limited, so you probably need to plan ahead and get them early. As of October 10th, they were sold out every night except for one Wednesday and Halloween Day. And I think that's good to know if you are going to spend the money. It's not physically possible to make it to all of the places that they offer on a general admission ticket. The early access definitely helped, but I really think Express is kind of the way to go on this one. As it was, we basically had to rush from line to line. I think we did a really good job of fitting in 6 out of the 9 haunted houses and seeing as much as we could, but I would have wanted to see it all. Early access is a must, especially as you get closer to Halloween. You do lose 1.5 hours, but I think the shorter express lines would make up for it. All of the houses are really good. You just can't beat the production value of Universal Studios. They do an amazing job. You aren't going to get that many haunted houses in one place with that kind of quality anywhere else. If you love haunted houses and all things horror like I do, this is the place for you. I had a great time. I will definitely be going back, and I'm just going to share all of the footage that I got from the houses. Excuse all the screaming. Stranger Things was my least favorite. Not too many jump scares, but obviously the production value was amazing. Just felt a little disappointed when we walked out. The Last of Us was my second favorite. Lots of screaming. My stomach was actually tired from all the screaming and lots of scares in this one.
This is awkward.
Right behind me. If I run, you run. Don't stop. Keep running.
The atmosphere throughout the park is fun, energetic, it's loud, spooky, there's loud music blaring everywhere. It's dark and it's also foggy in certain places with scare zones where you will be stalked by random creatures roaming the area. This was hands down my favorite. I loved the movie and it was still kind of fresh in my mind, and I really just felt like I was in the movie. This one was so good, so much screaming, so many jump scares, definitely my favorite, and the special effects were so good.
Mommy's with the maggots. Mommy's with the maggots now.
Oh my god! program was really clever. It was this idea that there are more bugs and insects in the world. They've been around longer, and humans are actually the ones that are destroying the planet and should be exterminated, not the other way around. The whole thing was 30 minutes long and was a different take on the studio tour that they normally do at Universal Studios.
Fairy larva's come to greet us. I think he's got an axe.
This was straight out of the movie Nope, and I loved it, and it also had a little bit of crossover with the movie Us. The Exorcist was my third favorite after The Last of Us. I haven't seen this movie yet, but it's on my list.
There are many dark forces in this world. The rite of exorcism is one of the oldest human rituals.
Your screams will be as silent as the grave. Bon voyage, Dervin Madame Sculette sent you.
This one had a Paris Catacombs 1700s theme with more classic haunts. I liked it. I will never not be scared when I hear chainsaws coming after me. I've got to give a shout out to this hotel, motel, Holiday Inn. We were only going to be there for one night. We needed something budget friendly, clean, and close to Universal. This place delivered. It is valet only and it's $45 per day, but that's not super uncommon for this area. It's only 2.5 miles away from Universal Studios and walking distance to the Hollywood Walk of Fame. It was functional, clean, modern, and had everything we might need, including breakfast that we missed because we slept in. They also have a pool. This bed was so comfortable, and these sheets were more comfortable than my sheets at home. Like, I probably need to do something about that. I actually really loved this Holiday Inn, and it's going to be our go-to spot for when we go back.